The position groups, everybody thinks the Browns need to add to the wide receiving group. Andrew Berry talked about what that room looks like for the Browns right now.
I can tell you, Daryl, probably across the roster, I don't think there's really any position that I just feel like, we can stand pat or say, hey, we're done. And I know that may seem like a little bit more of a general answer, but quite honestly, I think that's probably how the majority of general managers, think across the NFL. You're always looking to see if you can add talent or upgrade and add players that can impact your team and to that position specifically, impact your passing game. So we like the players that we have in the room, but we do believe in adding talent and competition where we can.
And Tim, that's clearly one of the areas where they're just not as deep as you would like to be.
Yeah, and I think what we saw, in particular with the Cincinnati Bengals, I keep going back to them, the last 2 years, they've done an amazing job surrounding Joe Burrow with receiving help. They drafted T. Higgins the day after they took Joe Burrow number 1. The next year they drafted Jamar Chase, and all of a sudden they're in the Super Bowl. So the Browns clearly need to continue to add depth to that receiver position. Obviously, trading for Amari Cooper was a big first step forward. I know Donovan Peoples-Jones maybe didn't take the quantum leap that a lot of people expected him to take after training camp. But I thought it was a pretty solid second season for him. You still hope he can get better. Anthony Schwartz, I know people had high expectations for him. I think I said after draft process that pick was more of a 2022 pick, and all you were really going to see out of him was gadget situations, deep balls, end arounds, reverses, you name it, just kind of gadget plays to kind of let him use his speed until he can kind of figure out more of the nuances of the game. But, outside of those three guys, obviously there needs to be more dynamic pieces put into this offense. If they go sign someone like Will Fuller and then draft a guy like a George Pickens or a Sky Moore or Jahan Dotson in day 2, all of a sudden you have a very different receiving core that looks much improved, and you give your new quarterback and Deshaun Watson some pretty good receivers to work with.